Hello, and welcome to Soundtale Productions. We are going to play some Pathfinder 2nd Edition for you. This is our Heroes of Histaeria campaign series. This is our Sandsea Saga campaign. As you can see, we've only got half our squad here today. We're running a little bit of a split session for the next 2 sessions. And today we are going to be covering the events of Pym and Luna. Guys, before we hop in, do you want to say hello to everybody? Introduce yourselves.
No.
Okay, well, there you go. Moving on. No, seriously, though, I gotta grab my notes so somebody can take the thing.
Alright. I am Nigel. I'm playing Luna.
Take a
I'm
second.
gonna try and solve a big mystery here in the Irenwud.
And who's the
Stalling for
detective?
time.
Who's the detective, Luna?
I am the detective.
Okay.
Look at me. Look at me. I am the detective now.
All right.
Sure thing.
Actually-
All right, I'm
Who are you?
Detective duo.
Who am I? I'm Hannah. I am playing Paminian charming bard gnome. And yeah, we're gonna hit the town and figure out what all these secrets are about. Hopefully.
Hopefully. And guys, I'm going to be your GM this evening. My name is David. My pronouns are he, him, and you can catch me here as the game master of this game, Sandsea Saga, as well as Unearthed Inheritance, over on the same channel, Stealthy Elf Productions, which is this channel. You can also catch me over at Tales Archived, where I play Whistle, the Hobgoblin Fighter, in the Known Realms Telesh campaign. Whistle. All right, guys, with all that done, are we ready? Are we just ready to hop in mystery time?
Let's fucking go.
Let's
Yep.
Get your starting hero
go.
point. You're gonna need it.
Yeah, don't forget your starting hero point. All
Ooh,
right.
I'm maxed out right
stacked
now.
on hero points.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, so the previous session began with the merry folk of the Oakasville leaving the Irenwud logging camp and descending into the Irenwud town. During the final leg of the journey, Clink revealed her connection to the conquering host, and Luna's long-lost friend Uzana warned Luna to keep a low profile in town. The need for the extra discretion being due to the fact that amongst the Azophastian refugees, the House of Elwins is seen as primary contributors to their current exile. The crew also discovered that the fully named Neblin, the necromantic gnome shipwright they rescued from the Juggernaut, has gone missing. A search party has been sent in pursuit of Neblin, led by Luna's steadfast life partner, Sia the Centaur. Centaur.
Not Centaur?
Upon arrival in town, the crew conducted a very flashy entrance, as they are wont to do, which was immediately undercut by the arrival of Master Ranger of the Ironborn Rangers, Lensa Pytheras. Before the crew would be allowed to venture deeper into the town, they had to first convince the Master Ranger that they are in fact allies. After some discussion, endorsements, and reviewing of terms, Lensa agreed to allow the Merryfolk access to the Irenwud. Amongst the conditions established were an escorted search of the Yoka's will, and an interrogation of Clink, a former member of the conquering host, Lensa's declared enemy. Though not the Master Ranger's only enemy. At this point, the crew, once back in the privacy of the Yoka's will stateroom, learned from Uzana that folks in town have begun to lose faith in Lensa's abilities. A vocal messenger of the argument against Lensa comes from Kyra de Muerto, a leader amongst the refugees and Uzana's employer. You all learned that there have been a string of disappearances in the community. Folk have been going missing, but strangely returning after a couple days. Upon their return, they seem different, more outspoken, vitriolic, radical, with no memory of the time that elapsed during their disappearance. And so now, Lycus and Edenor prepare for Lensa's inspection of the Yoka's will and Clink's interrogation. Detective Luna and the mysterious Mip have taken up the case of the Unmemorables. Let's see what happens. Okay, guys. You're still on the Yoka's will, right?
I think so.
Okay.
So, the first thing I wanted to get settled. So, let's say hypothetically we're still in the meeting room.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest. So, clearly, Lycus wants to stay here. It seems best if Edenor stays with him. Pym.
Yeah.
Would you like to be the Mip, to Muno and Mip's detective adventure?
Yeah, I think I would.
I have been waiting for something exciting to happen on this ship for so long. Okay, so first, how can you?
I'm gonna let that slide.
I'm gonna let that slide.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Fuck.
Can you leave your parchment of direct message with, I'm about to say Edenor, and perhaps along our way we can give him a summary of what happened. Edenor, being the responsible person he is, will most likely actually read it.
Agreed. I think Edenor is the better person for this task. Yeah, sure.
Who knows what Lycus would do with that piece of paper?
Honestly.
Do we
Probably
want to
shred it.
know? That is the best option from what I was thinking initially.
That's a mystery for another day.
Yes. So, after you hand it over to Edenor, I would say, so this previous Serico was the previous ship owner, right?
Correct.
And Serico seems like a very flashy, into fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, could I make a roll to see if he would have a hat and trench coat for both of us?
For both of you?
In his wardrobe. Perhaps he had, because Serico was about, what, like average height, I guess.
Yeah, he's a little taller than Lycus, probably like close to your height, Luna.
So maybe
Maybe a little bit taller than you.
Maybe he had some outfits for, guests that might arrive.
I'm gonna say right now you're not.
trying.
I'm gonna say right now you're not gonna find anything in Pym's size. But as far
Okay, I have a change of clothes. I'm good.
yeah, as far as trench coat and hat, yeah, you can find. You can find a trench coat. You go into Lycus's room, which he took over from Sirocco, and go through the closet. And sure enough, yeah, you can find like a pretty stylish coat in black with some silver trim.
Oh, it's really too bad you don't have those sunglasses anymore.
No, you still have the sunglasses, don't you?
Did we say? I thought you left them in the glove compartment.
I think I could just maybe I could manifest it if I.
You could
say
have
I
made
have
some
it,
along the way.
Sure.
It just becomes.
Crafting.
But I don't know how much glasses fit the situation.
Sure.
Versus...
If you're gonna be a dark and mysterious detective,
You're right.
just saying it could lend to the vibe. But anywho,
There is one thing that you guys both notice. What are your perception just modifiers?
11.
Are you gonna say the skull? Are you gonna say the smell?
I was gonna say the smell. It's kind of stinky. And it kind of hits you as you kind of like, yeah, as you walk into the room, there's kind of a whiff of it, and as you move your way to the closet and open the closet, that's where it really hits you.
Oh.
But the clothes are
You
there.
stored it in the closet?
That's what he said. He said that and the knoll head are both in the closet.
Oof, okay. So I'm holding my breath, trying not to puke right now. That doesn't mean I want to make a roll for it to say, but I'll
Prestidigitation on the clothes.
exactly. I was gonna like put it on and like maybe do that maybe 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
Once I leave
sure.
the room.
Yeah, the flies follow you for a little bit, but after you prestidigitate it, they kind of back off. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now we're ready.
Do you leave the head? You guys leave the heads there too, right?
Yes, we leave
Yeah.
the heads.
Okay.
We're not gonna bring the heads in.
I'm gonna say too.
We've
you
got
can.
some questions for
You can. It's you. Yeah, I'm gonna give you this option too, Luna. You can find a coat, similar coat, with a hat to kind of match, or a hood.
Choices.
Like a foot, like a with a thing going down, or
Yeah. Like a
hood
you know
with a, like, lit up- lit up
Assassin's
hood.
Assassin's Creed Unity, like the one in
Yeah.
Paris, with the hood. So like a
Damn it.
trench coat with a hood.
I feel like I have to. You
Okay.
cheated because you know me too well.
Yeah, there you go.
Obviously, I would. Some
Gotcha.
meta stuff going on.
There you go.
Okay, wait. One more thing. You should never leave home without accessorizing. So I would like to give you this bracelet, and it's a little like multiple metals kind of woven together in a braid, and it's gonna take about 10 minutes to properly tie it on your wrist to line up with your energy meridians, so that if anyone tries to read your mind, you get a little bonus to fight that. It's a psychic warding bracelet, and I have 3 of them.
That's really cool.
So 1 for you, 1 for me.
As you guys are walking out onto the deck, Uzana is standing there, just kind of waiting for you guys to finish up.
Oh, like old times.
Okay, Pym. Fine. None for Uzana.
Wait, is Uzana coming with us?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just,
I did not
just
realize
assume-
that. Full disclosure.
Oh.
Just
I do
imagine
have
Uzana's
3.
always
Uzana's always going to be around Luna. Yeah.
like 2-3 steps
Uzana.
behind me, basically.
Uzana, I've got something for your wrist.
For my wrist. And
Mhm.
what is it?
It's a bracelet. It's a friendship bracelet.
Looks to Luna. Are we friends then?
See?
Yeah, we all have one. Also,
Join in the club.
it'll guard your mind, but mostly the friendship bracelet thing.
Okay, Pym. And sticks the hand out, kind of a little robotically, but lets you put it on.
Puts it on. 30 minutes later, we're all braceleted up.
Well, you guys can all bracelet up at 10 at the same time, can't you?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll just say it's 10 minutes.
Okay.
the whole ship is swept over and the interrogation's done. Right? You guys still just sitting there on the deck waiting. Yeah, you guys all bracelet up at roughly the same time. And with this time as well, you make your way down deeper off of the ship and into the Neblin Sky Dock proper. Here, you guys, believe we're looking for Blurreed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we walk in, and Pym is still disguised as a rabbit folk. So she's got her little moth antenna.
So we're in
painted
MIP mode.
bunny ears. Yes, so I'm in MIP. I'm a
Okay.
MIP. And
Before... Oh, yeah, continue.
No, you go.
I was gonna say, before we enter, like, if we know she's in a house or whatever, before we enter, I was gonna stop, like, 20, 30 meters, like, just before it, just to ask, is there anything more you can... Because we didn't really discuss who Blurreed is. Is there anything...
Well, I know
Wait,
Blue
what?
Reed.
Can you give me a heads up? Is she related to Umpen?
Yeah, Blue Reed
That one?
is Umpin's daughter. Blue Reed is a very skilled shipwright. Gina is Blue Reed's sister. Gina is one of the missing, the Unmemorables. If I remember right, Blue Reed is pretty friendly, right?
Blurreed is kind of a no-nonsense, like... Straight shooter, yeah.
Okay.
She's used the kind of person that's used to dealing with all sorts of like different sailors coming in and trying to pull one over on like, trying to cut deals for repairs and that sort of thing. So she knows how to handle herself. She's pretty tough.
Pretty tough. Got it. How about like, do I have a feel for how she might react to seeing an Elwyn's? Just in case,
She
you know,
might
this
be
guy.
okay. She's from the Irenwud, so she more than anything.
So it's more the refugees.
The refugees are the ones that are probably the issue. I mean, there may be some folks in the Irenwood that don't like that the refugees are here, and may
Right.
also kind of share like, oh yeah, this is the Elwins, but I don't think Blurreed. You have no reason to believe that Blurreed is one of those people.
Okay. So Blurreed should be pretty trustworthy. I plan to reveal myself through this incredible disguise. Because I don't think she's... I mean, I think she'll trust me and remember me. And you, probably will be okay if you tell her what your name is.
Can you be honest with me? Do you think the glasses are too much? I haven't done this in a while, and I just want to get it right.
No, I think the glasses are just enough.
Yeah, so I'm wearing it, but I can't wear it for the session because it's
Okay.
dark as hell. So Blurreed's... Do you know what happened to Blurreed's mother, or what's the situation when it comes to
Yeah, what
that?
do I... should I recall knowledge on the family, David?
Yeah,
To just remember a little bit
sure.
more?
Give me
Okay.
society.
Society.
Call this DC 20.
Ooh. Okay, let me think.
50-50.
Nope. Can't remember a thing.
No, you do remember
Just
saving
Uncle
Gina from
Gina,
some
yeah.
goblins, rescuing her, and then
Yeah,
Elda telling you and Crest to try to rescue Umpen.
and I do also remember the rocket situation. So
Sure, yeah.
Umpin was working on the rocket, but it was Gina's
Design.
idea,
Yeah.
and Blurreed, I think, was the one who originally sent us out to find.
Correct. Yeah, take a
Yeah.
hero point. Nailed it. Nailed it.
Define open.
Can I
Define
have 4
open
hero
and...
points? Is that allowed?
Oh yeah, that's right. You're at max already. Never mind. Too bad. Stop being
You
great.
could use it on that roll.
Oh, I'm
kidding.
just too good. Yeah, no, it's okay. I think I have all the info I need. So I relay that
just
to you.
making sure.
That's all I know.
Okay. Ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah. Zana, you ready?
I'm ready.
She's always ready.
I'm always
Alright.
ready.
Okay, let me just
So,
wait. Let me just
View my spell list.
let me just. No, we don't need that. What could we use here?
unfortunately, all of my spells that I memorized for the day are more of the hurting
Oh.
people.
Yeah, this is what we want to do. I'm gonna do heroism on
Like heroin.
on you.
You like heroin?
Is it heroinism?
Heroinism grants you a +1 bonus to attack rolls if you need them, perception checks, saving throws, and skill checks for 10 minutes. So I'll do it like
What
when we're
type
right
of-
outside the doors.
What type of check is? What type of bonus?
+1.
No. What circumstance
Status.
Okay. Good. Just checking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Done.
So you guys make your way up to Blue Reed's door. As you're approaching, you can hear voices coming from the other side. They're a little bit muffled at first, but as you get closer, it becomes a bit more clear, and you can hear Blue Reed's voice as she kind of. You can tell there's a little bit of frustration, and she kind of shouts, "Yeah, and they're gonna fucking expect me to fix up this ship. I have no idea where the fuck they got that thing. The design is crazy. But I just know Lens is gonna come in here any minute now and tell me, hey, Blue Reed, we need that ship fixed up. We need it for the war effort." And you hear a voice kind of through the door. This one a bit more muffled, because it's speaking at a lower register, right? But you can hear clearly there's a discussion between Blue Reed and somebody else.
Okay.
Should we try and roll a perception check to see if we hear anything?
Do it. I just gave you that bonus.
Okay, heroism
What is it-
cast.
Is it for 10 minutes or is it like one use in that 10 minutes?
It's for 10 minutes. All of them.
Oh,
For
okay.
10 minutes.
So
Perception.
that's roll the 15. That goes up to 26, and then plus your bonus and plus my. I would assume because this might. Well, would this play into the case of the Unmemorables?
Would this play into the case of the Unmemorables? I would say so, because Blue Reed is a... I don't know about you. I don't want to assign suspects for you, but Blue Reed is very much related to one of the missing people.
Then that's another plus ones for 28.
28. All right. With the door in the way, I'll call that actually more like a DC 22, so it's going to be a success, but not a critical success. But you do hear a voice say, "Look, babe, I know things are crazy right now. We've all got reasons to be stressed out, but we're all got to do our part, okay? And you know I've got your back." You don't recognize the voice though, no, but someone talking, trying to talk her down.
Hey, Min.
Yeah?
After
Yeah.
you. That's
Okay.
right. Get into the zone. Knock, knock, knock.
Knock.
Okay. At the knocking, there's everything kind of stops. There's like a momentary silence, and then you hear someone walking towards the door, and you hear the voice. You hear Blue Reed go, "See, I fucking told you any minute now. Didn't I say?" And opens the door, and it looks to the three of you and goes, "Oh, Actually, as she's kind of opening the door, she's like, all right, listen, you ironborn twats. If you think that I'm just going to go ahead and start making... Oh. Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, I thought you were somebody else.
Hello, are you Blurreed, Nebulin?
Yeah, that's me. Who the fuck are you? Sorry, it's been a long day.
Pym kind of like pulls the like something off of her face a little bit to reveal herself.
The mustache and eyeglasses.
The mustache. It's me. Blurreed, do you remember me?
He kind of looks real close. No? Should I? I've never seen this ship before. You came off of that ship, right?
Mm-hmm. It's new. Last time I was here, though, I was on the Water Drake.
Water Drake. Pym?
Wait, before we continue,
Pym!
may we come in?
Yeah. Come on in. You guys walk in, and you can see that this is kind of like half bedroom, well, 1/3 bedroom, 1/3 kitchen, and somehow still 2/3 workshop. If you're tracking the math, I know it doesn't work out. But yeah, I mean, her work leaks into everything. There's half-finished projects all over the place. You can see schematics of ships, kind of laid out over desks. You can see all manner of tools, rulers, all kind of hanging haphazardly and shit on the wall. But yeah, it's a workman space. And there's kind of the smell of like wood and oil. Yeah. We're trying to rebuild the Irenwud after everything, and yeah, keeps you busy. What, Pym? When I heard Cress was in town, so
Cress was here?
Yeah, not too long ago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they met up with Sage Elda and Finn Reese, fighter kind of guy, good, decent guy, and I know they went on something. And at this, you see the other person in the room, who is a rabbit folk individual as well. Gray fur, kind of tall, taller than Blurreed, certainly. You guys recognize familiar features to a former crewmate, Jackrabbit, but not Jackrabbit. This is Penn Smith. Pym, you recognize Penn. You've met Penn before. Luna, you have not. But Penn is sitting on a counter, looking out over everything, and goes, Pym, yeah. Cress came by not too long ago. They went looking for Granny Mal up near Dameril. We haven't heard from him in a while. No.
Well, have you seen Jackrabbit lately?
No, I haven't seen Jack in years. Why? Have you seen Jackrabbit lately? Yeah, Jackrabbit left the Irenwud years ago.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, this
Well?
is killing me right now. Just for pleasantries, my name is Muna, and I go to shake their hand.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Blurreed kind of looking at you
I'm
while
so
those
sorry,
two are
yes.
talking, yeah. He goes,
Yes, this is
And then
Muna,
Muna.
and this is Uzana.
they all, Uzana and Uzana, yeah. Uzana looks at the two of them look back at Uzana and go, they all say in synchronicity, we've met.
Okay.
But Muna, Blurreed to you says, hey Muna, Blurreed Umpin, shipwright. Welcome to the
And
Ironwood.
then after we shake hands, because if she's a shipwright, gotta have like rough hands as
Oh
well.
yeah.
So, like as we're shaking hands, oh, a fellow builder, you know.
Yeah. Do
Love to see them.
you know your way around a hammer?
Yeah, not in the, build construction levels, but metal with some armory, tinker with little tools, adding some runes along
Oh.
those lines.
Well, I myself, I'm strictly a ship gal, but my sister now, she yeah.
That's why we're here, actually.
You guys.
We would really like to help. We heard about the kidnappings.
Word travels fast around here. Looks at Uzana.
Yeah.
You tell him? Yes, I told them. Why?
Because Uzana knows we can solve the case.
You a detective or something?
In my previous work,
Pen kind of reaches over and like holds on to Blurry's shoulder and kind of like nods encouragingly. You think you can find my sister?
We think we can find your sister and hopefully your dad.
My dad? He's... What makes you think he's even alive? It's been months.
Well, because he came with us. Here. On our ship. We spoke with him.
What? Whoa.
He's alive.
You're fucking kidding.
Mm-mm.
My dad, Pym Neblin. He's alive?
He's alive.
And he's in the Irenwood.
Well,
He's here, on your ship.
but not the city.
Where is he?
he's
Where's my
somewhere
dad?
in the realm of the Ironwood. He came with us here. We landed at the
The logging camp.
Port.
the logging area, the logging camp, and fought our way out of that. There were some goblin invaders that we took care of, and we haven't been able to find him since then. There's no like body or anything. We don't think he's dead. We just think he's, well, this is kind of, we have some questions for you. I mean, can you think of anywhere he might have gone?
Here? I hope. I mean, I don't know. You think he just walked off?
We're not
What
really
if something
sure.
happened to him? He was on your ship. How are you not sure?
Well, it was a chaotic fight.
If it helps, we do have a search party out trying to find him right now. And to be honest, this case is sounding quite similar to the missing individuals, or the previously missing individuals for Irenwood as well. Possibility they could be linked, but it's still under investigation.
Yeah. All
Well,
right. I'll help.
When we found him, he was being held against his will by a band of goblins. He was
Notes.
being forced to build a pretty nasty warship for them, which we managed to take, so that's good. And that's when we came across old Pym and Neblin. He was grateful that we, got rid of the invaders, and he joined our ship. We told him we'd take him back to the Ironwood. He was very excited. And then suddenly, some point from the time we arrived and fought to the time we got here to the docks, he's poof, gone.
That doesn't make any sense. Any of it.
Are you sure he doesn't have anywhere? Has he, when he's been in the Ironwood, in the city, was there anywhere that if he might take a walk outside the city to go somewhere, or if that was a frequent thing? Because we're trying to determine if perhaps he had a base or something that he may go to.
My dad, he's the kind of guy that's all about his work, really. I mean, he was either here in the shop or, he's got a workshop up in the Iron Hills. Pym, you recall when you first encountered Gina, the first time you rescued Gina from some conquering host members. It was up in the Iron Hills. Mm-hmm. It looked like they had a pretty established little setup there, a little testing ground for that rocket.
Right, that's where we fought that first little group of goblins, right?
Correct.
So I would remember how to get there. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Cuthbert, you went there on Cuthbert last time, but yeah,
Oh.
you remember it's in the hills.
Oh. Yeah, I remember that. Maybe he's there. We could check.
How far is that from the city?
David?
About, now, you remember it being tricky to say here, Pym. In the D&D world, it was like a half day. Could be similar on Cuthbert.
Okay, so this is on foot. This is definitely taking.
Yeah, on foot. This is going to take a longer time. I mean,
okay, well, that will definitely be a place we'll want to check. But why would he leave without telling us or saying anything?
What if?
Because the ship didn't land, right?
Correct. Your ship pretty much got, like, I think the lowest was like 60 feet off the ground.
Right.
Okay.
I like it. Everybody's got chins in hands right now. We're all detectives.
Mm-hmm.
How about this, Tim? While we're here, Sia does have one of the parchments on her. We could check the Iron Hills.
Yeah.
I would assume someone in the party would have an idea on the direction to go there.
Oh, you can't miss them. They're like the big fucking hills on the other side of the Ironwood.
I'm pretty sure they know where the.
yeah. They like dominate. Yeah. They're fucking ginormous hills right behind your behind the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that.
So the
Is that
Umpin
okay with
search
you,
team. I just want my dad back. Whatever you guys, if you guys think this is gonna get him home, then fucking do it. Sure. Yeah, let's.
Okay, let's do it. Luna, you have better handwriting than me. I mean, Muna.
They sound similar. I can see the confusion. So I, Muna, will. And I'm saying this out loud. So I, Muna, will start writing in the most amazing cursive.
The most amazing cursive.
The most amazing cursive.
Oh man, this is a fantasy.
And because this
if
is
you know Nigel's
somewhat
handwriting,
to the case, this could be related to the case. I can roll a check to make sure how amazing it is.
You could.
Roll a natural 20 for that.
Dude, okay, really this is the most amazing, truly. Like, you almost want to frame this.
You're able to give them the exact coordinates.
What is the... Yeah, you're telling them to go to the Iron Hills?
So I'm telling them...
I'll give it as close a description as I can, like, 3 clicks west of the northmost peak or whatever.
Okay.
No, wait. This is what I'll do. So on the paper, I'm gonna write. We found a clue. There, he's probably at the Iron Hills, and I will draw a circle with like a little miniature version of Sia in one spot here, and like draw an arrow with like, the estimated time, like kind of saying like 3 clicks, and then big Iron Hills.
Okay. Natural
and
20.
That they're looking for a workshop.
And
Or remnants of a
that there is a workshop. I was about to repeat exactly what he said.
Okay. You scribble onto the paper expertly.
And then after a minute, it gets sent to them because they're still within a 10-mile radius.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, definitely within a 10-mile radius for sure. Okay. Yeah, message deployed. Message sent.
Okay.
Okay. So Pluride goes. So you think this has something to do with Gina as well?
Well, I think it could. I mean, your father's skills in this day and age are incredibly powerful. Everyone's looking for someone to pump up their ship, pimp out their ride. He's just about the best there is at that. Let me ask you something. Did your father ever have any enemies or bad blood with anyone that you can think of?
My dad? No. He's a good guy. Yeah, he's a real
lost
fucking good guy.
bets or past grudges, nothing like that?
She kind of shakes the head, and you can see like her pink hair just kind of like flopping back and forth. Kind of bound down underneath the goggles, but what's loose is still kind of bouncing around. No.
Okay.
Wait, I'm doing a sense motive on that. The GM attempts a single secret perception check for me and compares the results, if they're actually trying to be deceptive, to a DC of the person. So I'm at a my perception check would be like +12.
Okay. And I'd attempt to check if they're trying to be deceptive. She's not trying to be deceptive.
Okay.
Yeah. She seems upfront right now.
Would anyone else be at this what do you call it?
Workshop?
Not warehouse. Workshop?
No. I mean, Gina talked about going out there, but never committed to it. And I don't think she'd fucking try it. It's pretty dangerous to hike the Iron Hills these days. She knows better. Conquering hosts about and all that.
How has Gina been lately before she disappeared?
How's anybody gonna be, Pym, with all this shit? Yeah, she looks at you, Pym, and kind of glances at you and goes, yeah, she was in a bad way. Give me a sense motive.
Okay. 28.
Gooder.
28's pretty good. What you notice with a 28, Pym, is that she glances at you, but she doesn't necessarily look at you specifically. But, well, no, you're in disguise, aren't you?
Yeah, but I already introduced myself.
Yeah, but
Revealed myself.
no, because there's a feature of yours that she would have been looking at, but I don't think that feature's there. So, no. I'll just tell you. She would have looked at your hair. She was kind of looking, because your hair right now is what color?
It's It's darker than it normally is.
Yeah, exactly. So it wouldn't make sense. But yeah, you can sense that she's worried about something. I'm just gonna tell you the sense motive. She's hiding something. I'll just give you that then.
Would a
So
+1 have made any difference, by the way?
No.
I would like to use a feat for the first time.
Sure.
Okay, I don't know if
Finally, something exciting's happening around here.
Right? You get it.
So it's a feat called Lie to Me.
Okay.
I can use deception to weave traps in conversation to anyone trying to deceive me, which I assume includes withholding information.
Okay.
If you can engage in conversation with someone trying to lie to you, use your deception DC. If it's higher than your perception DC, it is to determine whether they succeed.
Okay. Yeah. So
so
go
this-
ahead. Use your deception. What's your
Yeah, so
deception?
back and forth dialogue. I would say I just kind of try to pick and prod at
Yeah.
you know what she's getting at. Maybe I mentioned my hair or something.
Yeah. Well, we'll determine the roll and then we'll role play the
Deception
result.
DC. Yeah, deception DC is just 10 plus my modifier.
10 plus your modifier.
27.
20 sounds good. All right. Critical failure.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you can tell that she's very obviously trying to hide information. So that's what you know, right? It's basically a sense motive check. So you know she's trying to lie to you. She's trying to hide something.
Yeah.
She apparently she's saying that Gina was in a bad way, right?
Mhm.
But you know, as you guys kind of prod and dig in deeper, yeah, she's not gonna hide from you guys that Gina was in a bad way. The degree to how bad it was is what she's really keeping away from you. There's something about the degree to which she was depressed and not doing well that Blue Reed kind of keeps from you guys. We'll say it was more of a just so we can just kind of move on with our lives here because we're going to go in circles down the drain. What she's trying to hide from you, Pym, is that that Gina was bleaching.
Oh.
But your hair's not your normal color now, so
Yeah.
so she just after like I think in just a frustrated exchange after a while, you guys just
Yeah.
asking her like, well, what was going on with her, you know, like you know, she just blows up and says she was bleaching. All right, she was fucking depressed. I don't know what was going on. She was keeping me out and yeah.
Sorry, what do you when you say bleaching? What does this mean?
It's a gnome thing. You know, we gnomes are generally known for our enthusiasm for life. And if we lose that or distance ourselves from that, we become quite the opposite. And it's a condition that I went through myself. Normally your hair changes back to your normal color afterwards, but mine didn't.
Is it kind of like being just filled with just full negative emotions?
Pretty much.
Or like
Pretty much. It's not pretty. It's not nice.
Yeah, for a lot of gnomes, being that depressed is like fatal.
It's like a disease
Yeah.
almost.
it's like it's not a serious condition.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a way there are ways to prevent the progression and even reverse it. I don't know if you explored those options with her at all before she.
Like I said, not something she talked about easily. All right, she didn't want me to get involved. She was just in her own head all the time, and she, for a while there, honestly, I thought she was getting better, but then all this, then she disappeared.
Can I also ask, is there anything odd that Gina's been doing lately, or does she help you? What's a typical day for Gina? Does she help you with the shipwright business?
Yeah, a little bit. She was kind of the brains, and I was the muscle. That was kind of the thing. She would work on the designs, and I'd make them happen. But I guess, after you and Cress went looking for Dad, and you guys never came back, that's when things started to get pretty bad. That's when she stopped really engaging with work, and that's when the fucking bleaching started.
And
But-
in that time, did she have any new friends or new contacts, people that she was talking to that she wasn't before?
And she kind of like hangs her head and slumps down, sits. To be honest, I don't know. I've been busy. Lens has got orders coming in all the fucking time. Everybody, I'm a shipwright, and somehow now I'm in charge of designing staircases and the pulleys and maintaining all of that stuff. I've been busy.
I understand.
Penn chimes in and goes, well, there's Jakar. I mean, they were seeing a lot of each other for a bit there.
Jakar?
Yeah.
Let me guess. Jiqar?
No, I already gave you this name already, actually,
Yeah,
last
this
session.
is the one we're supposed to visit, actually.
Jakar.
Yeah, it just hit me. Sorry.
And at that, Lareed goes, yeah, I guess if, like I said, she was sad, but I thought she was getting better. She started hanging out with Jakar. You're right.
Okay.
She started listening to a lot of music and was hanging out with the tree singers. But then, they were working on a tattoo. Yeah, that's right.
Tattoo? What kind of tattoo?
It was, I don't know, they had all sorts of different ideas. And Penn steps in and goes, I'm pretty close with Jakar. He was learning how to, he was really inspired after getting a few really nice tattoos from Finn, and decided he wanted to give it a try himself, and I think Gina was going to be his first one. They were working on like the perfect design, but I don't know if they landed on anything.
Okay. So she never actually got the tattoo?
As far as I know.
As far as you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually, now that I think, actually Uzana steps in and says, Lareed, when I spoke to you before, didn't you mention that Gina disappeared when she went after leaving to go find Jakar? Yeah, that's right. She was gonna go see him, and that's the last time I saw her.
That was going to be my next question.
That was the last time
And-
we saw her. Where did
I
she
would say
leave from?
Here.
The main gates? Or...
I don't know. It's just probably just up the stairs. Like you saw, there were a few different staircases in.
Yeah.
I didn't watch her leave. I was busy.
Okay.
Right. And I think if there's nothing else, you should go speak with this Jakar.
As far as if there's anything else, it's up to you guys. You're in this space. I'll remind you, this is
Yeah.
a space that Blareed and Gina lived in. So you're essentially
Maybe we
in
should
Gina's
look
home
around.
as well.
We should look around.
Intins.
I'm not saying, I mean, you guys want to just walk out by all means, but
No. I was gonna suggest it anyway. Would you mind terribly if we just looked around a little bit for any additional clues that might be not at the top of your mind, given how busy you are?
wow, asshole. Yeah, go ahead.
This asshole is trying to find your family, so...
Whatever. Yeah, go. Do what you gotta do.
Alright. The only other thing I feel obligated to tell Pen about Granny Mal.
Okay.
So...
We want to
While
have...
you're looking around,
Yeah, Luna's
Luna.
looking around.
Hey, Pen.
Pen's kind of blurry's, making her way to the door, saying, "I'm gonna get back to work. If you guys need me, just holler." And Pen's about to follow her as you call back. He says, "Yeah, what's up?"
I need to tell you something, and you should probably sit down.
All right. It kind of starts eyeing you suspiciously. Blurry kind of standing in the doorway and looks and goes, "Should I stay?"
It's about Granny.
What about Granny?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, there was a massive battle on another plane. We had been looking for Granny for a little while, and we found her. Unfortunately, she had been taken by a very strong and diabolical force. Her mind and her body had been taken over. She was trying to kill us. And we tried to reach her, but we couldn't. And she fell in battle.
As you're speaking, Pen's expression just kind of goes from kind of curious to like a stunned silence. As she's staring at you, you can see the ears were kind of like upright, and as you've been talking, they kind of begin to droop, and her face gets really hard, and her stare distant as tears begin to well up in her eyes. She kind of hangs the head. Blurreed rushes in, kind of pulls her arms around her. And Pen, was it you guys? Did you kill her?
I don't remember actually, did we? I think we had to.
Roll recall knowledge.
What am I adding?
There's a blur, right? So if you don't remember, I'll give you the opportunity to check your notes if you want, but it's we can say it was also in the blur of the battle if you don't remember.
Yeah,
fine.
By the way, you're good at deception anyways.
Yeah.
True.
Well, I'm being honest here. I don't remember who it was. There were so many shots being fired.
She's gone.
I'm so sorry.
I really thought that she was gonna come back. I really thought that that she was gonna come home. And she just turns and sobs in Blurreed's arms, and Blurreed just kind of holds her, strokes her shoulder. Pym, the two of them will take a moment, unless there's anything else you'd like to ask them.
No, I think just as you mentioned the expression coming through on Pen's ears.
Yeah.
I think Pym's little moth antennas sort of mimic that position sympathetically and empathetically, and wipes a tear of her own. We did see Jackrabbit.
She kind of was he there? Does he know?
He knows.
Oh, he doesn't know about Granny.
He knows. Yeah, he does. I gave Jackrabbit the tippet.
Oh,
and then
but
he took it and
that was
walked off.
before the dream thing, so he knows Granny was in Dameril, and he's making his way up to Dameril.
Oh, okay.
With the tippet, yeah.
Jack doesn't. When last I spoke to him, Granny was still out there, but like I said, not herself in any way, shape, or form. I had her tippet and I gave it to him, and he walked off, presumably to go look for her. I haven't seen him since.
Jack's got the tippet. And she kind of looks at Blurry and goes, "Gotta tell the kids. Could you come with me?" And Blurry just kind of squeezes her and says, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm with you, okay?" And the two of them start to kind of walk off. Blurry opens the door, kind of ushers Pen through. And Pen's trying to clean herself up. Before Blue-Reed goes through the door, though, she looks back to you, Pym, and she goes, "I'm gonna be busy with fixing things. Can you please find my sister?"
We're gonna do everything we can.
She kind of nods and moves through the door. Closes it behind her.
And if anyone asks, my name is Mip, and I'm a rabbit folk. Pymenian Ackle is not here.
Sure. Thanks, Mip. And it's out. Okay. We're gonna, during this time, while this was all going on, Luna, you're looking around.
Yeah, because I'm looking around her room. I'm thinking right now, looking for anything that stands out that might help give an idea of what her mental state was, what she was doing recently.
Journal, notes.
Journals, notes, yeah. Maybe
Sure.
even like a little, secret diary, perhaps, somewhere.
Some people have diaries.
Or designs too. Look for.
Yeah.
She was working on the rocket stuff.
Very good, very good. Okay, roll us
That'd be an aid.
You're busy breaking bad news to people.
No, I'm everywhere actually.
You're everywhere. Pym's also here. Luna, go ahead and roll
What was the ship?
investigation
Oh, it's everywhere.
or perception to search, and this is pertaining to
That
your
is
investigation.
a really good roll.
Woo.
So this is I get an additional +1 because it's part of the case. So that is +12. The roll was a natural 20.
Holy shit! Okay,
32.
We're gonna
you,
find everything.
Luna, you make your way through, and you do, sure enough, find a good bit of stuff. Give me a second here. Let me just pull up some. Where are you?
You are the detective.
Luna is the detective.
Luna.
Okay. Luna, as you're looking around, you do find, I mentioned schematics. As you're looking around, you do find lots of schematics. And what you start to do is you kind of start to move them all together, and you can kind of see, as you layer them up and collect them, I think, Luna, you're an organized individual. When you put them in order of date, you can start to see a little bit more of Gina Neblin unfold before you in these schematics. So you being a crafter yourself and a detective, you and someone who keeps like a spell book and stuff, you know that even when, you know, this is a part of you, right? These things that you dedicate yourself to, right? And parts of you can only reveal your state, only reveal you. And you see, sure as hell, as you're looking through, the drawings, the schematics get a little bit odd over the last week or so. They're kind of...
I see it as the characteristic traits start to slightly change.
Yeah, the characteristic traits start to change, yeah. But what happens, I think you'll see, like, you know, there are a few months there, like the months leading up to this, where she's kind of working on some rocket ship stuff. They're scratched out. Like, heavily, angrily scratched out. Right? With a natural 20, you can see that the intent behind this was aggression, anger. She was furious at what she had drawn here. She wanted this disintegrated, some of these. And as you move through, you can start to see, over the last week or so, she starts making a few more little doodles, but they aren't treated with as much anger. They aren't treated with as much aggression. They're tolerated. And then in the last few days, I would say between around like Alizaro's 27th, you start to see around the 28th onwards, just around then you start to notice that she starts drawing a little symbol. There's a little thing that shows up in all of the pages. With your critical success, you don't easily spot this, but as you're moving through, you start to see that the pages for the last few days have something similar, and that is looks like a little face, but the eyes are scratched out.
Scratched out. Yes, interesting you mentioned the 28th when the first missing case started. I have to check is that something I recognize? If is this something religious, or
Well,
would I have any idea?
We should do recall knowledge checks on different skills to get different information.
Okay. I'll tell you. Go ahead. What's your rank in religion?
It is trained.
Trained? You can attempt the check, but the DC is... I'll tell you now, the DC is 24.
You got some hero points.
Roll it. Hero point. Click.
What about
try.
occultism, David?
Let's see what he gets first on the religion. I called religion.
Okay.
That's what I'm sticking to it.
Okay, so first roll I used the hero point on, just to make that clear.
Yeah.
Because it was a 3.
It was a 3. Okay. Okay.
Second roll is it's a religion. Second roll would be overall 27 plus 1, 28.
28 is a success.
16 on the die.
Luna, you're a church kid to some extent. You're a magus, right? And your family run the League of Magi, but they are also very devout followers of the Orosian faith. You were forced to attend church. You were forced to attend the temples and learn the different iconography associated with the Pantheon of Oros, and this is one such icon. This symbol is... Let me just make sure. Where are you?
Just starting to sound like primary school for a little bit there.
Yeah.
Having flashbacks.
Yeah.
I believe this one is Lazara.
Ooh, darkness.
Darkness, your old friend.
No parents.
Darkness, no parents, old friends. Darkness has done a
Would
lot
I
for
say,
people.
So, GM, would I say that the scratching out around the eyes could be a blindfold?
A white skull, yeah, the symbol of Lazarus is a skull with a blindfold, and this looks like a face with a blindfold.
And I know who this guild belongs to.
Hey, what you know,
heard
you
the
know.
lead.
What you know, you know.
I meant I know who this belongs to. Okay. That is
So what you know,
very
you know.
scary. I will just for the fun of it, because that's everything that you would mention, right?
Yeah, that's everything I'm gonna mention right now. Yeah.
Because I want to use it, I could pursue a lead to see if there's anything more. Like,
Well, quick question.
Hmm.
Would you allow me to roll also on this either occultism or lore underworld?
Interesting proposals. Yeah, lore underworld could apply.
Excellent. I have a really good modifier in that.
Yeah,
I don't use it ever.
lore underworld could
Let me
apply.
take a look at that, Luna.
like I say, above table, I have a pretty good idea.
Well, let's see what Pym gets. Go for it, Pym.
Yeah, go for it.
I will use a hero point.
Use a hero point. Give me the hero points, heroes.
Yum, 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 yum,
27.
yum.
27?
27. I'm a master of Lord Underworld.
Okay, you're a master of lore underworld?
Yeah, it's a gnome thing or one of my things. I don't know.
Pym. Okay. Pym. I think this part might come from Brina a little bit.
Sure.
Right? Brina, I mean, Brock is a people person, but Brina was more of the person who kind of like kept track of the threats, right? To give you like just an easy, Nigel, just an easy idea of Brina, because you're part of our audience right now. Imagine Lara Croft.
Okay.
Right? So Brina would have kind of kept in, knowing threats and stuff, and Brina would have made sure her daughter, her only child, was also prepared to recognize such things, organizations to be wary of. And you recognize this to be, you are familiar with a rather rare guild in Azafast. Kind of quiet, they keep it under wraps a lot. But known as the Eyes of Vendola.
I feel like I've heard that.
So the Eyes of Vendola, they, this guild, they were who you'd call if you needed something done quietly. Smuggling, sending messages, maybe something a little bit more violent, but if it needed to be quiet,
Nice.
they were good. They were the ones. Assassino!
Yeah, I have my notes open and I'm seeing
Assassino!
So she's only drawing this symbol like in recent entries.
Yeah, in recent entries. Yeah. And I think too with the Luna with your one roll too, with your natural 20, right? You connect. They've been talking about a design, a tattoo design.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was I was thinking that too.
Ah, everybody's on the same page. Nice job, guys. Detectives, detectives.
Okay.
We're all detectives now.
Luna, do you know the Eyes of Vendola in Azafast?
I'll just call it out right out.
You're from there.
I'm quite familiar with it. It's not a name that you want to speak out loud in an open area, but did you notice it from the symbol?
Yeah. Doesn't it remind you of that?
She scratched it out, but it looks like she's trying to resemble a blindfold.
Yeah.
And she did it starting the day that people started getting kidnapped as well.
Hmm. This is fishy.
And she wanted to get a tattoo.
Yep. We're definitely gonna have to talk to Jakar.
I say we go to Jakar as soon as
Well,
possible. Or
let's
if
see
there's-
what we can learn from Audrey first. Just so that we go in with, like, all the information. Audrey was the first one to go missing.
True. We can try and collaborate their stories to see if Audrey has a tattoo as well,
Uh-huh.
or if he actually got the tattoo. Sorry.
Or if he's been hanging out with Jakar as well, or, you know, let's just see if there's any through lines here. I also think it's interesting that Audrey's a carpenter, Gina is a, you know, ship designer, Umpin is a shipwright. The only one that doesn't make a lot of sense to me is Thiarl, the priest.
Who's a priest?
So,
That
to be determined
that's-
there, but
Usana kind
There is-
of
yeah.
pipes in and says, "We should be careful jumping to conclusions before we have all the information."
You're right.
First,
Yes, detective.
we must continue investigation to limit the possibilities. Sorry, I kind of stumbled
The
there.
possible possibilities.
Until we eliminate
Episode title.
until we eliminate the impossibilities. Possible possibilities. Yeah, session title. Yeah, I like it.
Okay. Wow, that was really shitty to have to give Pen that news.
What news did you get?
Oh, I told her about Granny.
There is a possibility that that is the granny of where we came from. Maybe not the granny from where we are.
Oh. I see.
Multiple grannies.
There's so much I have to talk to you.
The grannies
Sana,
of the
when we're back on the
multiverse.
ship.
She's
She's
I
the
guess
anchor.
that's true.
Yeah. Well, so next, you want to speak to Audrey?
Right. Do
Yeah.
we know where Audrey is?
Yes.
Okay.
He's in the refugee
Then I say we
camp
go to him.
at the base of the
Okay.
Ironwood. Okay.
Oh, at the
Base
bottom
of
of the...
At the bottom of the plateaus. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. I wanted to go down there anyway.
Okay. Well, you will. And we will all go together as a group when we get back from break. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for watching. We are deep in the intrigue, the case of the Unmemorables. The plot like gravy thickens. Friends, we'll see you back in about 10 minutes. Stretch your legs, get a drink of water, let your dogs out. See you soon. Bye! Hey guys, welcome back to Stealthy Elf Productions. We're playing a little bit of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. This is Heroes of Histaeria campaign. This is our Sandsea Saga group. Well, half of the group. This is our Pym detectives, Muna and Mip, as they are trying to as they're on the case of the Unmemorables. Okay, guys, you guys are making your way over to Audrey Boehner, the first of the Unmemorables. You've just finished investigating Gina Neblin's home, talking to her sister Blareed, and Pym delivering the terrible news of Granny Mal to Pensmith. So, you guys are in the Irenwud, making your way through the town, and as you're walking your way through town.
Can we say this? Wait, so there's something I want to do, because I just thought about this, and remembering how Luna being Essentia might not be looked at really well going. I'll ask, so right now, like, she has the type of kind of like undergarment that goes along till here and like
and leaves the palm exposed
around the fingers, so the palm is exposed.
Yeah.
I will say, just in case, do I know if Essentia are always the mark is always put on the same spot for everyone?
Yeah, you knew that it was on the back of the right hand.
Okay, just making sure it's always there. I will ask Pym. So Pym, so one of the reasons the refugees might not be a fan of me is because I have this symbol. I'll like take it off and roll it, and you'll see the symbol along here.
It's like a backwards E.
Okay.
Could you do anything? Because I saw that you're really good. You had a kit that you used for your makeup and so on. Can you do anything to cover that, just in case?
Yeah, I might be able to. Let's duck back in this alley, maybe. Just quickly do a little disguise, a little makeup concealer.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll for it. It's easy enough to just cover a hand and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Not for
There you go.
Put it back to normal.
Okay.
So
What are your perception?
Mean?
What are your perception modifiers, guys?
11.
it's plus 11 if it's anything related to the case. I don't know how that would be applicable here.
I would track.
Will be an additional +1.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry to intro. Go ahead.
What does that symbol mean?
Well, it's kind of your entry ticket or your pass to be within Azafest that they were marking people with. They called it the Essentia, so it was the ones who were allowed to.
Oh.
Not everyone.
Oh. I understand.
That's part of the reason why the refugees might not be so ecstatic to see someone like me that might have this, because they were probably considered non-Essentia
Okay.
people and got excluded from Azafest.
Got it.
So
Why,
as much as possible, we want to avoid them seeing that.
Can I ask, how do you feel about how your city is handling the crisis?
I think if I look at it from a logical point of view, maybe they're just doing that from a resource perspective and have enough for everyone, and they try to eliminate those that maybe weren't overall helpful. But since I've been hanging out with this group, I've started to see that maybe it's not so easy to determine someone's worth from the just limited information you might have of them. So right now, I am not exactly for it. It doesn't sound like the right thing to do.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
someday I'll get to see my father and actually ask him more about it.
Yeah, maybe not too long from now.
But now we gotta find out where Gina is.
Right.
Uh,
Well, maybe we should
would you
start
want to
asking
ask around?
around.
Yeah, would you?
Thanks.
Jinx!
You owe me a butterbeer.
Nice name.
Would you? So you can ask a bit more of a people person, perhaps. You can ask any of the refugees or who we see along the way. I'll check with the guards to see if they've noticed any disappearances or maybe seen them walking out the city.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Let's do it.
Okay, so we're going to kind of call this like a little bit of exploration mode as you guys are walking through town, making your way to the lift that will take you down to where the refugees are. You're being led by Uzana, right? So rest assured you are on the right path. You don't need to navigate. As you're walking through the town, though, things to note. You do see Ironborn Rangers, and Luna, because you clocked this before, I will say you can clock it again, that they seem like, you know, a little unsure of themselves. Maybe a little green is how the best to describe them. And as you're walking around, you can also see that it is... Luna, I think I also mentioned this to you last time. It's pretty late in what would be your sleep cycle for a lot of folks, right? If they were kind of keeping a traditional sleep cycle. This would be roughly the equivalent of like 9 o'clock at night right now.
Can I also do this, David? Like, as we're walking, I also want to just keep an eye out because of now that we know who, we have an idea on the organization involved, the Eyes of Andola, what I know about them, if I can keep some sort of eye out in case we're being followed.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent.
I was trying to see if there's like a check specifically for that, but
that's okay. No, so you would... The way it normally works is I roll secret perception checks for you guys against the person who's trying to follow you against their stealth DC, right? And I actually happened to ask for your check for your skill earlier, and I had a check. But now that you've asked, I'll allow you to roll one.
Okay. Money! That is a 25.
25. Okay.
Perception, right?
Perception, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
25.
With a 25, there are a lot of people looking at you guys as you guys are walking through town.
Actually, 26. Oh no, heroism would have ran out by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, heroism's up right now.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
But if your
25.
lead is still active and this is related.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I've added it.
Okay.
Or
We disagree there, but don't worry, you're good.
okay.
24. Yeah. Because you're just looking to see if people are looking or like people are following you, right?
Yeah.
You guys turn a lot of heads. You turn a lot of heads. It's like I said, it's kind of late, but this is an airship landing in a town that has not had a lot of contact with the outside world. It is a big deal. People are woken up and told, hey, an airship landed, right? Everybody's eyes are on the Neblin Skydock right now. And as Uzana leads, hoods up, as Uzana leads the two of you out, you can see people make way, right? No one actively stops you or gets in your way, but people are looking. A lot of people are looking. Okay? Now, before I actually give you the result of that check, I do have some questions for you guys. We were talking about how you guys are approaching. Pym maybe doing a little bit more of a gather information style, right? That'll be more talking and stuff with people. Luna doing more of an investigation style, maybe just kind of observing and looking for clues kind of thing. So they sound fairly similar, right? But they'll yield different results.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So, how about Luna? You just had a roll. So, Pym, how about you go ahead and roll for us?
Diplomacy.
Gather information. So, yeah, diplomacy works.
Diplomacy. Yeah, diplomacy. Okay.
I could also allow society if you wanted, because you're talking to a whole bunch of like townsfolk or something.
I will
So
not.
gather
allow
information.
society.
It's a gather information is a secret roll, just so you know.
Is it?
Oh. GM determines the DC of the check.
I didn't see that. Oh yeah, it is a secret. It's got the secret trait.
Oh, I see.
Okay. And the amount of time it takes.
Collecting correct information. Okay, so my diplomacy is plus 13.
Plus 13. Okay. And you're looking to talk to townspeople, right, and gather information. Do you want to give me anything specific that you want to learn?
I am trying to find out what people know about the people who have gone missing, and if there has been any notable behavior observed or conversations with these people close to around the time that they were disappeared.
Okay.
Tattoos. Any, like.
Tattoos or markings, anything unusual.
Okay. Okay. Well, Pym. You're asking around about the people who've gone missing, right? And this is... and we're not going to roleplay all of this, but you are a charmer, right? And you do manage... I mean, as you approach a lot of folks, they're very curious about you, right? But they're not always readily looking to share information, right? But they have a whole bunch of questions for you as well, right? But I would say, Pym, you're really good at guiding a conversation towards your outcome. You also rolled really well. You got a natural 20.
Oh.
So you had a critical success. So you do collect information about the individual or topic, which is why I was asked. So people who've gone missing, yeah. Here's the thing about this. This is a refugee town that is that is kind of like busting at the seams a little bit, where the tensions are high, and everybody has a goddamn theory about what's going on with current events. Okay, so you hear stuff like some people are saying the Ironborn Rangers are abducting specifically people who threaten Lenza, people who are going to undermine Lenza's authority. You hear people saying that actually this is a plot by the Elwyn's house and the Elrond's house that want to drive the exiles out of the Irenwud into the wild. That this is like an undercover League of Magi tactic. I mean, the conspiracy theories are out there. You hear maybe it's conquering host, trying to pull spies into town. Some people think it's not real. Some people think it's a complete hoax. Some people are saying that no, this is all a lie. They want an excuse. They're just looking for excuses for why people might change their mind, right? Because that's a lot of times what's happened with these individuals, these Unmemorables. They've changed their mind. And people are saying that no, sometimes that just happens, and there's no mystery here. And then you also find a theory of people saying that it's actually the exiled that are doing it. They're doing it because they want to undermine Lenza even further, but not directly. So everybody has theories in town. Now with a natural 20, some of these are bullshit. Some of these are quite obviously bullshit. Like, I'll tell you, with a natural 20, I'm going to give you kind of the perception of the stuff, okay? The Elwyn's and Elrond's theory you think is not very likely.
Okay.
It's not really how the League of Magi operate, despite people saying that, but you can tell that these people are bitter towards the League of Magi, right? They have a lot of feelings towards them, and they are looking for anything. Conquering host, I mean, not likely, but not impossible, right? It doesn't seem their style. You also note that it's the whole talk about it's not being real. That's obviously not true.
Mm.
None of these sound super plausible. Because none of them include what you guys know. None of them include anything about the Eyes of Vendola.
So, from that, I think that it could very well be the exiled that are doing this, the refugees. Some of them maybe being part of that guild from Azafast and disguising themselves as refugees.
Good theory. Interesting theory.
And they could be... Why would they be doing that, though?
Well, that's a separate question.
Yeah.
Luna, you rolled an investigate.
I could roll one here.
Go ahead and roll us one.
I think investigate kind of uses anything.
Perception, no?
Use a recall knowledge as a secret check.
Oh, recall knowledge. Here, let me just pull up this thing.
Perception is
investigate.
Perception or society?
Yeah. Do you have a preference? How would Luna be approaching?
Yeah.
Would Luna be scanning people or scanning, like, the town?
Complex physical society. I'll do the town.
The town? All right, society. So secret check.
Well, it doesn't have the secret tag. It just says you use a recall knowledge as a secret check to discover clues amongst various things.
If it says secret, I think it's me.
Yeah.
You did do pretty well, though, Luna. I'll tell you. I don't need to be that secret. Okay. You're looking across town to try to see if you can kind of catch what might be going down. As you're walking around, you can tell tensions are kind of high. You can see especially the Ironborn Rangers and the towns and like people in the town, especially interactions with refugees. They kind of keep fairly wide circles away from each other. A lot of them shoot dirty looks at one another. But a lot of times that's when they're not busy staring at you guys, who are the novelties, right? But what you get the sense of is that this is a town where people are on the brink. Okay?
Yeah, tension's high.
Tensions are high. But your investigation also yields something else. As Pym is walking, I think this is one of those moments where Pym is over charming, some people and getting some of that information that she gleaned, right? Luna, you're kind of standing back, and kind of keeping your own ear out to conversations that are passing by, and you overhear two Ironborn Rangers talking about the Unmemorables, and the thing that they talk about is that they expect, kind of like you deduced, that Gina Neblin will be showing up sometime tomorrow. But what they also mention with your check, because your check is really good, and this is pertaining, so what they also mention is that all of the victims, all of the Unmemorables, have been discovered in the Irenwud, the forest. They've all just appeared, and Ironborn Rangers are the ones typically who find them because they're the ones out there. Ironborn Rangers are finding them out in the forest, blindfolded.
Okay. That's a big one too.
Mm-hmm.
So, even though, and you also hear that they reveal that this is probably why there aren't any experienced rangers in town. Lenza has them all out looking for Gina, expecting that she's going to appear any moment.
Okay.
So you gather that Lenza's also got a little bit of Lenz is also eager to see this investigation solved. She needs a win, and the Ironborn Rangers discussing kind of reveal as much, that they think that Lenz has, got such a hard-on for this because she needs a win.
Okay. then with that, when I meet up back with him, I'll relay all of that. Okay, Usana's leading us to Adri.
Any indication of people talking about Kiro de Muerto?
Oh, Kyra?
Or Cairo?
Kyra.
Kyra.
Kyra. Imagine it like it would have had a K, but it's got a Q instead.
Of course it does.
No apostrophe, so you take the win.
Yes! I'll take the win. Any mention about Kyra? You hear mention of Kyra, because you're the one who had that natural 20. People think that, Lenza looking bad, or that Kyra's talking a lot of sense. That the exiled should have more say in town, should have more say on the resources. A lot of this coming from refugees. Folk who are from the Irenwud are mostly their impression of Kyra is kind of a little bit of a shit disturber and somewhat disrespectful towards nature. You also...
Kyra...
Mhm.
Real quick, Kyra is one of the exiled?
Kyra is one of the exiled, one of the leaders of the exiled. The exiled have no, quote-unquote leader, but Kyra seems to be what would be considered, the next best thing. You hear that she's actually had some high-profile arguments with both Lensa and Jakar, Honor Hunter.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I tell Luna all of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Onward?
Alright, then we're... Yeah. So you have to see what this information Audrey might have. That's how it's pronounced, right?
Mm-hmm.
Audrey?
Audrey, yeah.
Okay.
Audrey.
Luna, you rolled a 25 to know if you guys are being followed. As you guys are making your way...
25.
It was a 25, I wrote it. It was a 26, but then I minused the thing already. As you've been walking around, you guys are making your way down, stairs. Again, it's not... You can tell that there's a crowd, right? But it's not as big and bustling as the Ironwood normally would be. But you can see that some people are basically... They've changed their sleep cycles a little bit, right? Maybe they're just now operating until they fall asleep. So it's a bit weird because coming from the jungle that's been so vacant, you haven't been around people for a while. But amongst them, something stands out, and that is, as you are making your way closer towards the lift that will carry you downwards, it does look as though you were being followed.
And what I'll do, I will nudge Pym, just like a shoulder tap.
Mm-hmm.
As we're walking over, I just nudge her, look at her, and try and say in a low breath as much as I can to say message.
I cast message and cover my lips. What's up?
What?
I think we might be being followed right now. Someone behind us. Just wanted to give you the heads up.
Okay. When we get to the lift, I'll just casually turn around like we're waiting for the lift and try to peek at whoever might be following us.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
15.
Okay. I also rolled to move stealthily through to kind of hide, because as you guys make your way to the lift, you find what you see here is a giant construction made out of ironwood. You see a long boom attached to a crank and a chain that kind of laces through it and connects down and hangs over a cart, right? A cart made of ironwood planks. And it's got quite a bit of weight to it. You can tell as you kind of step onto it, it feels quite sturdy, right? But you guys are not the only people stepping onto it. There are a couple Ironborn Rangers. There's a couple of other just people who are making their way onto the lift as well. It's fairly sizable, can hold about maybe 15 to 20 people if you really squeeze in. And as you are stepping on and kind of closing in, the three of you kind of closing ranks in one of the corners, Pym, because of your smaller stature, you're kind of like tucked in behind the other two so that you're not lost in the crowd. And as people are kind of shuffling in and pushing up next to each other, Luna, you're kind of you're kind of an introvert, I would say. I mean, you start to kind of feel the press of people as they're kind of closing in. You ever get on an elevator with lots of people and they start kind of squeezing in? That shit starts to happen. And somebody is like moving in kind of close to the crowd. You guys kind of clock that this person may have been the one that was kind of tracking you as they kind of appear suddenly and they get right up close, maybe removed by a couple people. And if I had to describe this individual, it's a human man, very gaunt features, right? He's got kind of like long, stringy gray hair. It's kind of kind of like white streaks towards the end, very greasy, kind of bound back in a very loose bundle, kind of a thick graying goatee on the face. And he's kind of standing there and he's kind of like, kind of glancing over his shoulder towards you. He's poor at hiding this because as he's kind of getting in closer, he kind of disrupts the crowd and inadvertently ends up drawing attention to himself as somebody kind of goes like, "Hey man, chill out," right? And he goes, sorry, and he kind of moves. And when he draws his attention to himself, he kind of like tries to shuffle back into the crowd and hide. Uzana leans into you, Luna, and says, "That's Audrey Banner."
Did the lift start to go already?
Yeah. Just as she says that, give me a second here. Just as she says that, the lift begins to kind of crank.
And
you guys begin descending.
Just see if it's possible. When we're about like halfway down range, I'll signal to him as well, and then Uzana to try and like squeeze away so like we're in line with him. Audrey.
Okay. Facing him or behind him?
And I would say like so we're all like in line like this, looking the same direction.
Sure.
With at least like Uzana and me on each side.
Okay. You kind of shuffle it. Give me a stealth or society to kind of like move the crowd or to kind of like slink around the crowd.
I'll do this a little bit more. This is society. They're both about the same roll. 28.
19 for Uzan on the dice. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, the two of you easily get into position. Pym, your friends kind of pave a way for you. You're small, so I'm going to say that using kind of their wake, you can kind of get into position around him as well. And the three of you are, I don't know, Pym, do you want to be behind him? Because they're going to be on either side of him.
I will stay in front and be sort of like a lure, like keep walking forward.
Sure. So you kind of like slip in front of him, right? And as he's kind of like looking at you, kind of like glancing down his nose, right? As you kind of step in front, right? Uzana and Luna sidle up next to him.
Start whistling.
I'll like lean to the left. Hi, Audrey.
Sorry.
Does a whisper work?
Yeah, it's working. It's fine.
Just noticed you were following us. It's okay, we were coming to see you. My name is Luna. And my friend over there on the other side is Uzana.
Well then, perhaps nice to meet you, Muna. Perhaps we continue this conversation at my tent.
Oh, of course. I just wanted to introduce us.
He's surprised and taken aback. He didn't expect you guys to and he's not sure how to, is there something I can, help you with, Muna?
Oh, we're trying to figure out why certain people are missing. If you're more comfortable waiting until we get to your tent, it's okay.
The expression kind of hardens as you say this, and he looks over at Uzana.
Is his neck exposed right now, or was he wearing a hood?
Yeah, he is just, he's in kind of like a carpenter's tunic, right? He's got kind of like a work vest on, so yeah, I would say like you can kind of see the hair kind of covers a lot of him, right? It's very shaggy.
So when he turns, from what I've seen, and when he turns towards Uzana, I'm just do a quick check. Do I see any tattoo or markings of the white skull with the blindfold?
As you do a quick check, you kind of peek over, roll a perception check.
That is a 23.
23. With a 23, you can see there's like a few different markings on him, a couple different tattoos. But nothing that looks immediately like what you're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't spot anything like that. Yeah, it's no problem.
Yeah. But yeah, he kind of leans over to Uzana, and he whispers something to Uzana. Okay? Now you rolled your perception check with 23. I'm going to count that towards him kind of whispering to see if you kind of overhear what he's saying. You don't. But Pym, do you want to make a check again? Give me a perception check to see if you overhear as he's whispering to Uzana.
Mm-hmm. 27.
27. You hear as he whispers to Uzana. Didn't I tell you enough already? Why you gotta keep bothering me? And Uzana leans back and whispers him and says, indulge me. A fresh pair of eyes might be worth it. It might be worth having a fresh pair of eyes take a look. But yeah, the carriage continues down, makes its way down. People start to leave. As you guys were making your way down, I mean, people were still kind of asking questions. And Pym, I'm going to say you're doing the brunt of the deflecting. You know, people asking about the ship, where it came from, who you are, what is your business in town. I'm going to imagine Pym giving some pretty non-committal, like, chit-chat, just kind of like deflecting all that stuff away. Yeah, you're a charmer. I'm not worried about
Band
it.
of adventurers. We're from here and there and everywhere.
People are asking about the pirate flag a lot. They want to know, like, are you pirates, or is Lenza making deals with pirates?
Pym just deflects and says, and starts kind of like ranting about pirates.
Sure.
like ranting about bad pirates, and kind of hinting that there is a new kind of pirate out there.
A new kind of pirate out there. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
At first, I was sounding like someone's asking, are you the murderer? And you start talking about other murders going on. Me, no, I'm not one of them.
No, but
No, you saved it. It's good.
Okay. As the elevator comes down, people kind of eventually, satisfied with your explanations, Pym, they disperse. And Audrey offers to lead you all towards his tent. You guys following along. His tent's kind of at the edge of the communities. You can see as you're passing through. Now you're seeing a lot more like clear Azafast refugees. Pym, Luna, it's hard to say that you recognize faces in a city as large as Azafast, but you can't help but recognize maybe a few faces, right? A few bits of symbols, a few pieces of home, some iconic signs and stuff like that, right? You hear people talking in Azafastian accents, right? Talking, it's weird to see home almost, but not really being home.
I will add as well when we start walking. Just I'll like put my hand in front of him, and then like as Mip comes along, I will also mention, oh, this is my partner, Mip. She'll be coming along with us as well.
Sup, I'm Mip.
Nice to meet you, Mip. Name's Audrey.
So is Audrey a refugee or an Ironborn?
Looks like a refugee.
Refugee, okay.
Says, if you're with Uzana, I know you got questions. You can follow me. And as he's kind of following along, Audrey leading you guys towards the thing, towards his tent. His tent is towards the outer edge of the camp. As you're making your way out there, I mean, you're passing lots of different tents. You also still kind of writing some of the previous checks. You're hearing a lot of talk about like a coup, about the Empire being betrayed. Right? That kind of talk is pretty fresh on the people that are now still awake at this hour. You can see some of them are kind of like maybe a little bit of drink, sitting around a fire. They're kind of talking about that stuff. You can settle easily. You hear the name Elwyn's thrown around once in a while, and then people spit. It's rough. But sure enough, you guys are taken up to this tent at the edge of town. As you walk in, as Audrey walks up to the flap, kind of just enters in. It's a fairly tall tent, and Audrey's a fairly tall gentleman. A very kind of skinny, lanky guy. Right? He kind of like ducks his head in to get in. He says, right in here.
This is pretty much like there's this and then forest.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, he's at the edge of the thing. And as you're getting closer, you can see that there's axes and trees and stuff like that. You can see there's a little, like, there's some woodsman stuff out here. Audrey being, you can see like a giant saw that's kind of on the outside, like a giant bandsaw. You can see stumps. You can see, again, he's got the look and everything of a carpenter. He kind of opens up the flap as you guys walk in. He makes his way. There's a little pot that's just kind of sitting over on a little table, a self-constructed table. And he goes, "Do you guys make yourselves comfortable? Feel free. There's not really much place to sit, but there are a few stumps and stuff that are kind of overturned that you can make into chairs. Again, a little makeshift table." He says, "Can I get you anything? Something to eat, or I can make some tea, or..."
Oh, tea would be delightful.
I would love some tea, thank you.
"Yeah, I'll make some tea for you." And Uzana sits down and says, "Audrey, if you would tell them everything you told me about your time." And as he kind of begins setting about the business for tea, he says, "I told you already. I have there's nothing about that time that I really want to talk about or that I have to talk about. I don't remember much. You know this?
Uh, I, if I may,
Hmm.
and if you're comfortable with it, I have something that might enhance the clarity of your memories.
What makes you think I want to remember, even if I did?
Well, because you know more people will be taken if we don't figure this out. And I don't think you want that.
He's a quiet individual. As he continues kind of setting about, reaches over to a pot and begins kind of casting a small fire cantrip to kind of, it looks like a lessened ignition, warms it up. All right, the kettle begins to boil, and he says, as he's kind of pouring it all out, passes you all a cup and sits down and goes, look, I don't know what y'all are looking for. You think something dangerous is gonna happen to people, but I came back just fine. The priests come back just fine. No reason to believe anybody else gonna come back any different.
Did you come back exactly the same, or did your... It looks like you're a carpenter, is that correct?
Yeah. And he kind of like, Luna, he kind of glances at you, and you can see he kind of stares at you and then like quickly looks back down to his cup and moves it up to his lips, and he's just kind of, you can see he's obviously avoiding eye contact with you.
Well, just my question being, between when you don't have a memory of what happened, but do you know if you have any markings that you didn't have before, or do you have any, hands are very important for a carpenter. Do you have any blisters or more calluses?
He looks back.
The normal.
He just says, I'm fine. Nothing amiss here. He kind of, again, avoids eye contact, just kind of staring at the cup. Uzana sits
Can I
down.
sense motive on his averting eye contact, just to see if maybe he recognizes Luna?
Sure. Uzana's kind of sitting down. Go ahead, make your roll. Looks over to you, Luna, kind of like shares a look at you and kind of like puts the cup to her lips and drinks. Kind of like, this dude's fucking crazy.
23.
23?
Yeah.
Against a sense motive, yeah, maybe. I'd say with a 23, this individual's not doing a great job of hiding it. Yeah, there might be a bit of recognition.
As I put tea up to my mouth with my mouth covered, I cast message to Luna and say, I think he recognizes you, but he doesn't want us to know it.
So I go to sit, hearing that, I go to see, so he's sitting down, I go to sit right next to him. He's avoiding, I'm assuming he's like, let's say he's looking like this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like, sit next to him, lean towards him. Why, and like leaning there, why are you avoiding eye contact right now?
Excuse me, I don't know what you mean. I'm not avoiding eye contact. He kind of like forces himself to look at you. Luna, as he kind of, now you kind of like, your purple eyes locked with his, he's got like these forest green eyes. You can see the pupils kind of like begin to dilate a little bit as he's staring at you, and then he kind of like quickly turns away again. Maybe, Pym, you were also observing maybe a little flush coming to the cheeks.
You're being 100% forthcoming with us, correct?
I mean,
Anything that you're leaving out?
not like you're being 100% forthcoming with me.
Oh. Do you know who I am?
Yeah, I know who you are.
Okay.
I have an idea. He kind of smacks his lips as he's looking at you and pulls his cup up and... I thought you... What are you doing out beyond the dome?
Well, I happen to be locked out as well. And right now I'm just trying to help figure out these mysteries. I don't think it would be the best of ideas to tell anyone else in the camp that I'm here. Because things are really tense outside. Don't want to cause any kind of tension explosion. So I'd appreciate if you keep it within this tent.
Things are really tense outside, you say? Yeah. Yeah, things are really tense outside. People, you didn't notice living in tents, living in squalor? Yeah, I'd say it's tense outside. Tell me, Luna Elwins, why are they outside? Why are we
Just
outside?
Nazra.
Nazra Elwins. My apologies, Princess.
Good. We're much more open right now. And what is your question? Why am I...
I'm just agreeing that, yeah, things are tense right now.
You're a carpenter. Why aren't the refugees using the woods to build anything?
Well, now that right there's a whole different matter entirely. You can thank the old, that master ranger of theirs, Lenza. Her and the tree singers working together, deciding all these trees around here, where we can't use them, can't cut them, not without the tree singers say so, without their approval.
So it's not a, for lack of a better description, skill type issue. If you wanted to, you could go and cut down that, because, you know,
If I want.
Irenwud trees are known to be really tough.
Let's see. If I wanted to, I could. I learned. At this point, he gets up. He's got the cup in his hand as he's just kind of pacing around the tent. They treat us like we are less than their precious forest. Do you know that? You know that? That out there, all them trees, when the last wave happened, they were more upset about the loss of the trees than all of the refugees that were left at the foot of their mighty plateau.
No? Maybe figuring out this case can give a little leeway for us when we have our, because we have spoken with that Master Ranger already.
Oh, did you now?
But yeah, as soon as we landed, she approached us immediately.
And I bet she told you to watch out for the rumors about her. That she's willing to let those of Azafas die if it means saving the Ironwood.
I think she mentioned anything as specific as that.
Maybe she don't need to mention it. You can see it on a plain as day.
That sounds really frustrating to be reduced to lesser than a tree. I'd be frustrated too. Angry even.
Holds up the cup and offers to cheers.
Trying to make friends here. You know, I find it so unusual that you disappeared, you came back, and you're not concerned with what happened in those few days that you can't remember? Doesn't that worry you?
I said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm back, and I see the truth, and I speak the truth.
Were you speaking to anyone prior to when you went missing that might have shared this truth with you? Agree with you?
Speaking with anyone?
Anyone new?
No, I don't think so. No one. The only new faces in town are right here in front of me.
You don't have any family here, friends?
At that mention, the jaw tightens, Pym, as soon as you mention his family. It's none of your business. And you can finish your cup. Then you can get.
The only reason why I ask is because we've all lost family and friends. Every single one of us in this tent, in this city. What's happening to our world? I'm angry about it. Now, I'm not bringing it up to rub any salt in your wounds by any means. I'm asking because what's happening here in this town could have effects on the rest of the world. And if we can figure out why people are getting taken and what's happening to them, we could help a whole lot of people. Now, you're smart. You can see that. I know you can. Are you gonna help us?
While she's saying that, I'm investigating this tent to see if there is similar symbolism that Gina had. If perhaps like if there's any, if he has a bunch of tools, if something is missing along the lines there.
Go ahead, roll a perception.
That is rolled a 10 on the die. That's such a risky hero point usage.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna use a hero point on that.
Okay. Use a hero point. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, probably shouldn't have done that.
The Dicer decided they don't want to work with you.
Cometh and they take it. So the total roll is gonna be, what's this gonna be? It's gonna be 13. So just so you know, I'm adding plus 12.
Okay. Wow. That's real unfortunate. It's down to a critical failure. Luna, as you're kind of casually looking around, you got your cup and you kind of do like a little sip, right? As you drink, it goes down the wrong pipe? You okay with that?
Sure.
Okay. It goes down the wrong pipe and Luna kind of begins coughing.
You okay?
Wrong. Swallow. Wrong pipe. I'll be okay.
Takes a sip.
It's lemony. You take a sip, Pym?
Yeah.
Okay. Pym and Luna, I need fortitude saving throws, please.
Oh. What is he doing?
I can't possibly roll 2 natural ones in a row. That'd be crazy.
Ooh. Mine's really good. 31.
31 is really good.
So this is my 3rd natural 20 for the session.
You are
For
nuts.
plus 30 for 32.
31 and a 32.
Yeah, I got a natural 19.
Guys, okay. The natural 20 is a critical success. Pym, yours is a regular success.
Okay.
So Pym, you are sipping your tea, but you are unaffected. Nothing abnormal to you. Luna, you take a sip of the tea. And the reason I think it kind of went down the wrong pipe on your throat is because you got this faint kind of tangy metallic undertaste to it. As you tasted that your sensitive palate, Luna, identifies that the tea is spiked.
Michelin star levels. Did Uzana drink?
Uzana drank, and you guys, and I'm going to say Uzana was kind of drinking a little bit, and over like the next minute or so, like just around the time where this all happens, where Pym chugs hers back and Luna, you cough yours. As this little exchange is happening between the two of you, Uzana drops the cup and falls face first onto the table, unconscious. And that right there is where we are going to call today's session.
You're so lucky. You're so
Of
lucky.
Heroes of Histaeria Sandsea Saga! With Luna and
I'm trying to
Pym
make friends with this guy.
just narrowly avoiding being
Trying to
poisoned.
poison us.
Shit. All right,
Guys,
we'll do it the hard way.
we'll see what happens. Combat doesn't necessarily have to go, but you guys watch, you take your sips, Luna starts coughing, and Uzana just...
Man.
Audrey, what are you up to, buddy? Well, we're going to find out next time. Actually, no, we're not. Because next time we're back at Sandsea Saga, we are actually going to have Lycus and Edenor. We're going to be doing their session. In the meanwhile, we'll see what's happening with them. So, guys, if you want to see what happens with these two, though, keep an eye out here because we will be back in a few weeks with the aftermath of this. Friends, before we head off, do you want to say who you are, who you played, and if you want people to find you, where they can do so?
Sure. Hi, I'm Hannah. I've been playing Pymenia Neckle, or some might say Mip. And you
Some
can find
might
me
say
here
Mip.
on Stealthy Elf Productions in a couple different Pathfinder 2e campaigns. I'm right here on Sandsea Saga, also playing Farron Balmiar on the off weeks in Unearthed Inheritance. So check us out. Tune in every Saturday night.
Yeah.
Nigel.
And yep, Nigel played Lunazar Elwins. I always got to remind people who aren't my friends that it's not Luna, it is Lunazra. That's the full name.
Fair enough.
You find me mostly here on Sandsea Adventures, playing as Nazra.
The detective.
Someone might get hurt next time.
Someone
Also
might.
known, original name Lunazra Elwins. Right now, Muna Melwins.
Muna Melwins.
Melwin.
Detective Muna Melwins.
An
All right.
infallible
Or Detective-
fake name.
Master of
Say
disguise.
that or Detective Eminem. On the
Detective Eminem.
Slim Shady.
Will the real detective please stand up? Guys, we'll find out next time if the real detective do stand up. I was going to say does, and then I decided to say do, and I ended up with do. And me, your wordsmith, my name is David. I've been your GM this evening. You can catch me here as the game master of this campaign, Sandsea Saga, as well as the Unearthed Inheritance campaign. You can also catch me as the Hobgoblin Fighter Whistle in the Known Realms to Lesh campaign every Sunday over at Tales Archived. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Hope to see you around. Bye-bye!
Bye!
Bye.